Today I'm going to make a complete Mii Brawler matchup chart. At first a disclaimer, which will also go on YouTube. This is only my opinion, this is my experience and my theory, so not only from experience but also from what I think should be the matchup in theory. Like looking at frame data, looking at options and so on. So you can't blame me if you have another opinion, but of course you're free to tell me, maybe you can change my opinion. That's the good thing about opinions, they can change. Yeah, and also this is for offline only, not for online. We're gonna start with Steve/Alex. I have not fought them a lot, but I have seen multiple videos which talked about how viable they actually are, and there have been a lot of opinions. This character is broken and this character is not very broken. And I am more on the side of this character can be very good, but in practice he probably won't. And Mii Brawler has a lot of tools to deal with stuff he has, because, for example, Feint Jump goes through up smash easily, and Feint Jump also avoids a lot of his ledge traps, or his edge guarding in general, because you just jump over it. So that's one of his strongest points, which just gets countered. And also SAK just simply against his recovery. So I would probably put this not even slightly winning, but in winning. Next here, I don't know how this list is sorted, I have no idea. Next up is Alf. I don't like fighting Olimar and Alf. It is just very annoying, but it is actually doable. And the fact that Nair beats out up smash anti-airs, and even, I think even his aerials sometimes get beaten, it is very weird. So I think Alf is pretty doable. It is either even or slightly winning for Brawler. Alf can wall him out a little bit and just camp around, of course, like every character, but he's slow, so Mii Brawler has no problem following it. But still, just because of the damage output, I would probably put it in even. It could also be slightly winning though. Next is Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo and Kazooie, when you play against a good Banjo who doesn't just run away, which is also easy to counter, but whatever, it is actually a very fun matchup, and it is also a pretty easy matchup when you get used to how to deal with Grenade, because you can just catch it with, you can even catch it with Nair. You can spam just short up run and Nair on Banjo and even catch grenades with it and be completely safe. So you can either play Feint Jump and just jump over him the moment he tries to set something up, or punish him for using neutral B, or you play counter and kill him at 0 from Wonder Wing. Both are possible, both are pretty easy to do, so I would definitely put this in winning. I never had any problems with this matchup. Bayonetta is also a very weird character. Bayonetta's damage output is crazy, we all know that, but her combos most likely aren't deadly. And I suck at STIing, but I still get out of them. So I haven't really ever died to a real Bayonetta combo. And also, she can't mash on our shield with any of her aerials or even her specials, because first, Lucario is fast enough to punish everything, and second, SAK outranges everything, which is incredibly useful. Also Suplex, for some reason, Suplex armors through so many of her moves. I don't know why, but it just happens. Suplex even armors through a side B, so often she will try to do a close side B to get to the other side of you and be safe that way, but you just SAK. So, the third in a row, surprisingly, I see this as winning. The list will, by the way, not be ordered most likely. Just these categories, but not ordered in any more way. Bowser is definitely a difficult one. Not definitely losing, but it's difficult because you have to play optimally. I think every character has to do that against heavies and especially against Bowser, because once you mess up, you're gonna take so much damage. Of course, Bowser is also gonna take a lot of damage, but if you mess it up once, he will get to 130 and not die. And that is a problem. For every character, but for Brawler even more. Especially because Heli Kick on some stages will never ever kill. It's just, I talked about this on stream before, but if you get an upper Heli Kick on Bowser from center stage at 80 to 120, it just won't kill. Because Heli Kick's knockback growth isn't good enough for that. It only kills at latch. So neutral, when you just hit him, you most likely won't get a lot out of it. FMP can be very useful for it, but still, it's rather risky. So, you can destroy him, but he can also destroy you, but you still have the advantage in neutral. You can nair on shield and not get punished by up B out of shield, but he can also forward air or side B on your shield and you can just spam shield against him. So for that case, I would put it in even. because both sides have a lot of explosive potential against one another. Bowser Jr. on the other hand is a little bit weird. Again, Brawler gets comboed hard by up airs. Like, just because of fast falling, he can do like 7 or 8 up airs from a combo sometimes, which can be a little bit crazy. But he also has to kill you. And if you play it, you have to play right, and you have to, of course, and you have to play patiently, and that is very important. You can't rush in and get punished by side B driftbacks or something. But still, this is doable as long as you forget to not run blindly in. Which is weird, because he isn't even a campy character. But he also doesn't get destroyed or anything. The combo trees are a little bit weird, and his edge guarding... You can SAK edge guard him, but not always, because he can mix up his timing and so on. So there's no real reason Bowser Jr. gets destroyed. So I put this one in slight winning. It is often said that Brawler struggles with range, and he does in a way, but Corin's range is a little weird. Because Corin's most problematic aerial actually probably isn't her forward air or up air, or back air I mean. The thing is, her ground moves are also a little bit punishable, and SAK still does a lot of the job. The most important mix-up is probably whether she's going to back air you or shield, or forward air, and you need to preemptively SAK, or can react to it, or if she's going to land on with neutral air, and you can't SAK because you'll get hit for it. But in any case, she's just way too slow. You just pick a large stage and circle camp her. That's unfortunately the reality, and shot put just... Even, I think hitting her tether with shot put is actually really easy, if you time it correctly. And then, of course, SAK, edge guards, and so on. So I never really feel any struggle against Corin as long as always, you don't blindly rush in and run into a back air at 70. So, this would actually be a winning matchup in my opinion. Captain Falcon. I don't like getting comboed by Falcon and put in disadvantage. I've played Tsuba a few times and I've actually switched to Pikachu just because it's so oppressive once he gets you in disadvantage and just runs at you. Because Captain Falcon is so fast in the air and on the ground, feint jumping out of disadvantage is very difficult. The disadvantage against him is very bad. He's just way too fast and can catch jumps and feint jumps with up air because feint jump is no invincibility at all. He also gets comboed and he gets edge guarded. That's the only thing. But I actually would say Captain Falcon has a little bit better advantage, but Mii Brawler has the better neutral with dash attack to interrupt dash dances and neutral air. You most likely have to be careful because of side B, because it will just super armor against everything. It super armors against Nair, it super armors against F tilt, SAK sometimes. But other than that, as long as you know how to DI away and not spend your double jump, it will most likely be fine. But the same goes for him. So I would put this in even. Chrom isn't as bad as Roy, but still very annoying. Because he can mash on you so hard, and you can also mash on him, but he has a disjoint, and you don't. This is very, very annoying, and you have to decide whether you want to preemptively anti-air him with SAK, or prevent his shield mashing with Throppa. The preemptive anti-airs are very difficult because he's just so fast, and the Throppa is also difficult just because he has disjoints, as I said. And your edge guarding against him isn't so good as you could do a lot. Most likely, Chrom is going to air dodge ledge, and the best thing you can do there is either down tilt into back air, or run off, try to SAK hit him. But that's not very consistent. You can also hit his recovery with down air when he tries to go low, but it's again very risky. So Chrom doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. And he can also spam Nair, just jab on shield. Jab on shield is so good and you get so many kills before you can. I'm actually struggling with this one because Chrom is definitely losing, but I don't know if it's losing or even strongly losing. You can still hold shield against him a lot, which can be helpful. I think it's losing. Not quite strongly losing. Strongly losing is for the really, really bad ones. Like Cloud. No, I'm just kidding. But Cloud also isn't nice because its aerials have a lot of disjoint and they are so easy to space and to land safely. The thing is, Lucinas always do, or often do, rising aerials or do high aerials which aren't perfectly landed, so you can often SAK them without any real disadvantage. But Cloud always spaces aerials to be safe, which is so annoying. You can't just SAK them. Of course, parrying And shielding against him is so good. This is very good, and you never have to fear him off stage or anything. But that's really annoying. And you can't do a lot about it. You can run up air, but he still can catch you with literally anything. It is very difficult to edgeguard him with Mii Brawler. You can again drop down air, or shoulder up down air to latch, but that's very hard to do. And down tilt won't lead to a lot of combos if you try to two-frame him. I think I put it in losing, because to actually win, you need to really outplay your opponent. Like, you have to hit every single parry, you have to punish them perfectly. Even parries, you can't always punish parries with anything but SAK or F tilt, so that's really difficult. Corin is a little different, but also very similar. Again, a sword character who can kind of mash on you, but also likes to do rising areas, like rising neutral air, or even rising retreating neutral air and forward air, and back air, which isn't perfectly landed. I have to see. I want to see Corin's frame data. I'm actually not sure about this. Yeah, so the thing is, neutral air kind of often, and especially back air, those won't be perfectly spaced on your shield, like not on the very last hit. So you will very often be able to punish it with SAK. And also, her F smash is relatively low, and her F smash is frame 17, so with shield up frame 28. In other words, she can't even punish your SAK on shield with anything other than forward air, which isn't such a big threat. And also, fast fall air dodge destroys a jungling game. It just absolutely destroys it. So yeah, I don't think Corin is really bad, even, or slightly winning. But I think just because of the fact that defensive Corin can still be very good against you, I would put it in E. Offensive Corin will always lose, but defensive Corin can still wall you out. Daisy is one of the top tier matchups, which I think might even be in Brawler's favor. Just because Brawler has Throppa and better frame data. Throppa can punish all shield pressure, like low nair spam or forward air. Forward air can be step-based, but it's hard. And back airs on your shield. Peach likes to spam and mash areas on your shield just because of float, but you can just punish it. Also, she's very floaty and dies to a lot of up air, up tilt, Throppa combos very early, which is a nice advantage. So Peach, you have to be careful, or Daisy, but it's actually winnable. Now that I think even more about it, at first I was gonna put it in slightly winning, but the more I think about it, of course she can do tons of damage to you, but her advantage isn't even that good. Especially when you recover high with feint jump. Then she just completely doesn't get any corner pressure, which is one of her strongest suits. This might be a hot take, but I think I'm gonna put her in winning. Don't super fast followers get fire chroma gain? I mean, every character gets 60 or 70%. And sometimes at low percent, Brawler is such a fast follow, you can even get out of some combos, you can shield. Yeah, suplex is also so nice. Short hop suplex against float is so nice. The best counterplay Daisy has is floating slightly above short hop nair range, because then she can just avoid those approaches, but you can actually run up Throppa because it's way too fast. And even if she air dodges it, she's too slow and too floaty to get any punish often when there's a platform especially. So just because it's a fast follow, every character gets comboed like that. And the fact that she's so easy to kill with up tilt up air combos makes definitely up for it. Pit and Dark Pit, I'm still gonna put these together in this case, it doesn't really matter a lot. Pit and Dark Pit can be good if they know how to combo you, but a lot of Pits and Dark Pits combos aren't always true and depend on disadvantage or advantage. Pit also depends on you being in disadvantage and getting those combos and those early edge guards and so on, but feint jump. Feint jump not only punishes defensive Pit because you can punish a lot of arrows, or I think you can even but react to some arrows and still punish them. And other than that, SAK also punishes every area. You can neutral. Now I need to see Pit's data. His areas you can punish with nair of shield. Every single one except perfect back air. So the moment Pit lands on your shield, you press neutral air, retreating neutral air. So the only punish he could at most get is a dash attack, and if he tries to space it or even do it rising, you just SAK. He doesn't have a real aerial to punish SAK. Maybe a dash grab, I don't even know if he's fast enough for that. Oh, and forward smash if he's in range, of course. That works, you have to be careful with that. SAK edgeguarding also exists, and you can pretty easily bait out side B, probably winning. Fun fact for everyone who didn't know, Samus back air has the same knockback as Wolf. I'm 99% sure of that. Especially with a 9-stage list, you'll never get to a nice stage where Helikick will kill at reasonable percent as long as you don't get it right at latch. And the thing is, why I don't like Samus, and Samus is so incredibly frustrating, is because her ways of covering Mii Brawler's approach angles is so incredibly efficient. Let's say you have a charge shot charging Samus, and that's like a tongue twister, standing in the corner. You can either try to full hop or short hop Nair on her shield. Full hop her first, is not safe because she can uppy out of shielded very often. If you don't do it low, like the strong hit, she can just uppy out of shielded. If you get the very high one. Because Samus is so tall, you hit her shield so high up that neutral actually becomes -6 or 7. And if you do it short, it instantly loses to forward air and even a slightly charged charge shot, just because the short up is too low. And shield dashing is so bad against Samus. I looked it up today. Shield dashing against Samus is so bad because neutral B charge shot is so good on shield. Even if it is completely uncharged, she has to stand. I'm gonna show this to you. I wasn't sure if I was gonna show it. She's right here. But I want to do that. We're not counting the charging time. We just think she's standing in the corner, already charging. It is -17 on shield. -17 if it is completely uncharged. So, to be able to punish it with SAK, it has to be -6. So, she needs 7 frames of animation to come through, so she can't be punished by SAK. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the range she has to hit a completely uncharged charge shot for it to be safe. This is like not even one Samus before her. So you need to shield at this position to be able to punish her with SAK. That is, no, you won't get that far. And now imagine it is charged, it'll be even safer. That's why shield dashing is so incredibly annoying, and everything else, neutral air, back air, forward air, gets beaten out by her forward air. So the moment she sees you jumping, she can just short hop forward air, and there's nothing you can do. Of course, you can try baiting it out by first jumping and then double jumping, and then you can maybe safely land on a shield. And then after you've already won that prediction game, there might be a 50-50 advantage-disadvantage situation. Assuming you didn't get hit before by any other projectile. So no. Samus, either I haven't figured out the trick yet, but that is definitely losing. I think I also suck at the matchup, so I won't put it in strongly losing, and only in losing, but that is so bad. That's dumb and also explains a lot about the Samus matchup. Yep. Now imagine you get hit. It combos. She just charge shot, grab, forward airs you, and you take 45. Bro! And it wasn't even charged. Yeah. And her boxing game still is very good, and the moment you start shielding, she just grabs you. Bombs everywhere. Yeah, that's all. I didn't even mention that, but just bomb. But you can juggle her so much. No, bomb. Every bomb does as much damage as Brawler's up air, so no! No! That won't work. And even for ledge trapping. Yeah. And it also interrupts. That's why I wouldn't play Helikick against her. Because if she hits a bomb or stage, the moment you try to Helikick, you die. The hit stun isn't very high, but it's high enough for you to fall as far as you can't recover anymore with Helikick. Which is kind of stupid. Away from the bad stuff, let's talk about Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong has Banana, which is very good for him, and also very good for Brawler. And Brawler doesn't care a lot, because Brawler isn't really on the ground. And I mean, aerial Banana, okay, you can do that. But sometimes, if he predicts it, I think Diddy can combo Banana into forward air. Against Diddy, I would most likely play either SAK or Throppa. Both are fine. Forward air is -12, I did not know that. That is really bad. Well, in any case, Diddy's boxing game is okay, with down tilt and neutral air and so on, and his combos are very nice. But I think Mii Brawler's disadvantage is fine enough when he just feint jumps to a platform, because Diddy can't do a lot out of platforms, at least rising. He can maybe get a rising up air into another up air sometime. If he has a banana, he can trip you on platform and then down air, grab, up air, up throw, up air or something. But your disadvantage still is very nice and you don't really struggle at ledge as much. Especially when you completely skip ledge trapping. And he also gets screwed up very hard in disadvantage. And off stage, shot put can be incredibly annoying. I think Diddy is okay. It might be either slightly winning or even, because there's also not a lot of reason Brawler wins, but I think I would put it in slightly winning in this case just because he has the frame data. A bit superior frame data. Donkey Kong, bye-bye. You get hit, you either die or take 80. Especially, I've played against a few Donkey Kongs online the last streams, and I missed a lot of my combos, and they still at 80. Offline. No. Bye-bye. Donkey Kong gets absolutely destroyed. He can't do anything about falling up air though. He can shield grab. Wow. Falling up air just... And you have to hit one. Falling up air into jump, short or jump back. Or short hop up even. Short or jump back, he can't do anything. Literally anything. When he's behind you, he can turn around backer to try to catch it. But other than that, he can dash attack. Your landing, which you can double jump before. And then get a falling up air. And once you get one around 50, you up air, up air, up air, up air, up air, up B, and he's dead. Or up air, down air. Or up air, heli kick, or up air, heli kick. You see what I'm going to. So yeah, Donkey Kong is a pretty easy matchup. Dr. Mario is a weird matchup, because his boxing game at advantage isn't actually that bad. A lot of his combos, especially out of down throw and with up air and so on, are almost designed to catch faint jumps before they can escape. But if you keep patient and wait for that to finish, you might still get away. Of course, you have to air dodge then instead of feint jumping, and those might get predicted and you just die. But you can also... A lot of Dr. Marios have to chase you off stage or not off stage, but an advantage to get a down B kill or similar things. And when you feint jump back there, you instantly regain advantage so easily, and you don't even regain stage positioning, just you even corner them the moment they do it. But frame 3 uppy. That's the thing. And throw combos don't work that well against Dr. Mario. I mean, you don't struggle with his pills, but he also doesn't struggle a lot with shot put except for off stage. Shot put off stage against Dr. Mario is pretty nice. But there's also, again, no reason why you should destroy Dr. Mario. Just because his aggressive options aren't a lot. You know what? Nah. Now that I think about it, it's probably even. He doesn't get comboed too much. You can't mesh on his shield. You can't really edge guard him. Going off stage, he goes in a bad angle for SAK to catch it, and down air I wouldn't go for that. So there's not a lot of reason for Brawler to win this matchup. Just because of circle camping. Yeah, of course that exists, but you most likely won't win this way either. Dog frame data actually matches Brawler. Yeah, that's the thing. Keep in mind though, this is very important, the winning matchups, I might have... Maybe a strongly winning part would be good. Maybe it would be. I don't know, it feels wrong to have Paisy and Donkey Kong in the same tier. But I do see both of them as winning for Brawler. Just Donkey Kong should have an own tier. That's the only thing. You know what, I'm gonna make a Donkey Kong tier. Alex and Steve might also be strongly winning, but I'm not sure about that yet, so... Yeah, and probably also Banjo. Duck Hunt will try to ward you out, and it'll most likely work, but he can't kill you, and you can punish his side Bs and down Bs with feint jump, which is incredibly valuable. So, Duck Hunt, even though it's a character which gets put between low tier and high tier, I think definitely Mii Brawler has the advantage here. Combo breaking can be annoying, but you still have the advantage after can combo break you, because you're still close to him, or at least slightly close, or you're both in the air where you also have the advantage, which is why I would also play Throppa. Just because you can shield dash, and the moment he tries to run at you or jump over you, you just Throppa on reaction, because he's too slow and too floaty for that. So this will most likely be winning. Falco. They both have very good tools against one another. But Mii Brawler's frame data definitely wins. That's the thing. And laser camping isn't really a thing. Defensive Falco probably still wins way more than offensive Falco. But you can get around that. And once you do, he's in a lot of trouble. Especially, you can either play SAK or Throppa again. Throppa against defensive ones most likely, because he will try to jump over you just because Falco's jump is so nice. And you can anti-air that on reaction most likely, because his area speed isn't actually that great. Yeah. Or SAK for the edge guards, but you could, you also couldn't. You just, of course, get comboed for years. That's the only thing. But as long as you don't die after that by running into a strong down tilt or getting... Up tilt back air is a thing, but neutral air often clangs with up tilt when you approach with it, and also dash attack. So this is either slightly winning or even. Probably slightly winning. That's true, Falco has to play pretty optimally against Brawler, because once he misses, Brawler's gonna hit an up air or neutral air or Throppa or whatever, and Falco's in trouble again. Fox. This is very funny, because people generally still think Fox is better than Falco, but I think Fox is a lot easier for Brawler. Because Fox loves to mesh on your shield. And it doesn't matter. Backer gets punished, neutral air gets punished, dash attack gets punished. Everything gets punished by Throppa. Throppa is such a great move. And you don't even have to punish it on shield. You can just sit in shield, and if he runs at you, you stay in shield and he grabs you, wow. Or he jumps and you Throppa. You instant Throppa. The moment he jumps, you press up B, and that's it. If he double jumps in time, you lost. But you can also just wait. Just wait and shield. He doesn't do anything against your shield. But then, you get a nice combo. For example, neutral air, down tilt, fair, grab. You don't even have to do the nice fair, down tilt, fair, landing up air on spot dodge, read, heli kick stuff or something. You just push him off stage. Use F tilt for 2-framing, which is so easy. F tilt 2-framing against illusion is so nice. And no matter if he goes on stage or to latch, it's the same timing and you hit both. And once you do, you have him at corner and he can't do a lot against you. Fox is winning. Ganondorf. I don't think I have to mention this, but no. Same reasons like Donkey Kong. Just kill him. Just run on him. What's he gonna do? Shield. Wow. I don't need to say anything more about that. Greninja. Greninja is especially defensive Greninjas, or with punish Greninjas, which is almost every Greninja. That is so annoying. So annoying and so good. That's why it's annoying. The moment you approach him, he dashes away or double jumps over you. And both are really, really good. Because dash away, dash in down tilt or dash attack destroys neutral air approaches. You can't neutral air approach against Greninja because he won't run into you. Short up neutral air depends on you, on your opponent either staying in shield or running into you. But Greninja won't shield, he will run. He will run a lot. And then he gets his down tilts and its dash attacks, and then you're in a 50-50 of forward air or air dodge. And so on. That is very, very annoying. You also can't SAK edge guard him or anything. And his moves are too safe. So either SAK or Throppa again. But he definitely wins this matchup. But if you play patiently and use shot put to your approaches, you might get a little further, because in close combat you still screw him up. This is either slightly losing or losing, but regarding the fact that there's Chrom, Cloud and Samus losing, I will put this in slightly losing. Hero has a sword, yes, but the only thing Hero really has against Brawler is again dashback side B, which catches neutral airs, so you have to do a lot of run-in shield, especially against him, as long as he has MP. But other than that, he actually gets smashed on, and especially dash attack pretty hard, because you just dash way faster than him. The moment he runs away, you run after him and dash attack. And SAK is really, really valuable against the sub B. And the moment he pulls out the menu, you can either play defensively and wait for menu to go away, and just dash away again, or you just feint jump on reaction, when he tries to do it, and he can't put it away fast enough, or has to shield it. Hero gets knocked around by bad frame data. You can get around it by reaching it. Yeah, so that's the thing. As long as you are aware of dash away side B and full hop more than short hop, you can get hero. But still, his anti-airs with up tilt aren't that bad, so I would put it only in slightly winning. Just because of frame data. If it was a little faster, it would be even, but I still think it's slightly winning. Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers is a matchup which on paper is very definitive in Brawler's favor, and in practice probably also, but I suck at it. But I also only play online Ice Climbers, and I haven't really been able to grind against one because for some reason all Ice Climbers leave after one game. But yeah, there are some moves which destroy Ices, especially Suplex, and also pretty much SAK. Suplex is kind of an own mind game on its own. Suplex separates Nana and Popo. The first one you grab will get normally grabbed and launched away, but the second one gets pushed away with a 3% and small knockback hit to the other side. So if you hit Popo, not only do you deal 23 damage to him, but also Nana is right before you, ready to get near down tilt fair heli kicked. And she's just dead at 0, because Popo is so far away. But I have played a few games against one good offline Ice Climbers player, and if he decides to dash dance around you, and you grab Nana, or grab him from behind, you get F-smashed by Popo, which is not cool. So Ice Climbers, they have a lot of safe areas, and especially their damage output once they get grabs or side Bs on you. They triple up air you and you're at 70. Similar to Olimar, you just think, wait, what happened? But also, again, SAK is very good off stage against them, and for punishing stuff by dashing away. If they play defensively and just side B on your shield or grab a lot, then they have kind of the upper hand. But I still think, because of all this, it most likely is slightly winning. It is still a skill matchup. As long as Nana doesn't decide to suicide, lol. Ike. Ike has a sword. Ike's sword moves are safe. But Ike is a very simple character. A lot of times, when it's an even matchup or even slightly even matchup, it is a battle of skill between Ike and his opponent. And I think that's also the thing with Brawler, because they are both very basic characters. And Brawler doesn't have a lot of cheese against Ike. SAK doesn't really cheese him in any real way. FMP is actually the way to go, even though you can try sniping side B with shot put. But if it's a good Ike player, he won't really fall for it. But FMP is an anti-air against jumping Ikes. And that's the only problem Brawler really has against Ike, that Brawler's anti-airs, especially up air and forward air, aren't a real thing. Like, you can anti-air up air someone, and you dealt 9%, and you're a minus on hit. What do you get out of it? So that's often not really worth the struggle. But still, you mash on Ike. You mash on Ike a lot. You don't care about super armor. And Suplex also punishes a lot of his stuff. It is a skill matchup, but I would put it in slightly winning. Still a skill matchup. This could also be an even. I'm gonna put it in even. Yeah, even. Just a skill matchup. Incineroar. Another heavy, which is even slower than the others, but has revenge. Which does not matter at all, because you have Suplex. The only strong thing Incineroar has is most likely dash back down tilt and side P with punishing. Dash back side P. But he's so slow, you don't rush in with neutral air or anything. You rush in, see what he does, and then continue your pressure. Because, wow, his burst range with dash attack is maybe 2 centimeters, because still, dash attack is also slow, and why would an Incineroar dash attack you? So it is very easy to close a lot of distance before committing to an action. But because his frame data, especially on its tilts, and his reward, and his juggle game, isn't as bad as those guys, I only put him in winning, I guess. I haven't played an Incineroar who actually deletes me yet, so... Inkling is a matchup a lot of guys struggle with. Or a lot of Brawler, rather that. I have seen a lot of matchup charts which say Inkling is definitely losing, or strongly losing, or top 5 or top 3 worst matchup. I do not see that. Yes, Inkling is annoying, and they're difficult to play, and I think they're online even more difficult to play against, just because it's dash, or their dash, but SAK. SAK and dash attack hard carry this one. You can win a game by only SAKing and dash attacking against them. The moment when they try to dash on ground, you either suplex, you run up into their dash range, because their dash is still not very far like everyone's dash, and suplex will most likely get them during their dash, or they commit to completely dash dancing away, like doing a double dash dance, because no Inkling ever just dashes, they always dash dance, so they have a set distance they have to do. And the only thing is saying even or slight loss. I disagree at that point, because SAK. A lot of Inkling's game plan is jumping in front of you, either short hopping or full hopping, and spacing backers. Not even spacing, just throwing out backers. It doesn't matter if it's spaced, it can't get punished. By most. But Inkling is rather floaty. I want to see this. Inkling is here. Around Shulk and Rob and Lucina range. Yeah, Inkling the same as Shulk, Lucina and Marth. That is still pretty floaty. So, you can thrust uppercut too. I prefer SAK because they jump in front of you and try to space any area in you, and you preemptively SAK. You just preemptively SAK, and they can't do anything about it. So their only option is to remain on the ground. Seriously, in practice, this sounds stupid in theory and it should work against more characters, but it works against floaty characters. Run in and up B. Should it be Throppa with Paisy, or SAK with Lucina, or in this case Inkling, it just works. In practice, it is so hard to adapt to not just jumping in a game where aerials are everything. So Inkling has to commit to dash grabs or dash dancing, because what's he gonna do? Dash attack? Attack cancel after on Inkling? I mean, you can, but the reward? So the only option left is, as I said, dash dancing, shielding, and dash grabbing. But there's dash attack and suplex. And dash attack and suplex have such an easy time dealing with it. Especially dash attack. They try to dash dance in front of you, mixing up for a grab to come, just dash attack into it. It is so hard to punish when you're already in your dash animation. Also feint jump. Brawler is one of the characters I think I once saw a chart about it on Twitter, I think. Brawler never gets killed by up throw up air from Inkling, which is a huge advantage. So even if you get dash grab, which you will be a lot, whatever. Take a bit of damage, but you won't get edge guarded. And SAK destroys Inkling's up B. Inkling's recovery is so good, you can't edge guard it. SAK. Just SAK. The most annoying thing is Roller, because they can dash back Roller and beat your dash attack or neutral air. Okay. But that's just, I wouldn't say a gimmick, but again, just don't run in. So, this is a win. Isabelle just sucks as a character. Too slow. Her side B is so bad, you just shield it and punish with anything, and she can't do anything about neutral air approaches. So as long as you rush her down, she can't do anything about you. And that's pretty much it. I don't think there's a lot more to say about the matchup. Just down B. Joker! Not to spoiler, but I'm gonna scroll down. Joker is way too nimble and way too fast. It is actually not funny. Joker plays similarly to Greninja. Dash in, dash away, dash in, dash away. Be very small, so back air spacing and up air spacing is so difficult. His dash is also pretty far. He can dash dance quickly and, yeah, as I said, far. So suplex, run and suplex often gets punished compared to Inkling, because Inkling wants to run in a little closer to you, and Joker can take his time and use its small hitbox while jumping especially, and his neutral air and back air and forward air wins against your neutral air. And of course Arsene, we don't even have to talk about Arsene. So so Joker is just a difficult matchup to play. And his reward is in generally better. You can't mash as much as on him because his defensive frame data isn't too bad. Joker has a bit of everything. He can ward you out. He can whiff punish you. He can rush you down and combo you. He has a bit of everything. So Joker's, again, either slightly losing or losing. I'm just gonna say losing. Because the difference in kill power is so enormous. And shot put is absolutely useless. You have to commit to FMP because shot put is just gonna... Nope. Thanks, Arsene. Thanks for giving me Arsene. Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff was weird. I have played a lot in the joint matchup between Brawlers and Jigglypuffs. And there were some people which were very easy to play against and some people who I struggled with. And offline this would change a lot. But there are very strong advantages and disadvantages for both sides. I didn't want to talk so much about every character, but I have to here. Jigglypuff has the big advantage of Brawler being a fast follower, so he gets put in tech chases a lot. Forward air from 30 to 60% and back air from 20 to 50 and neutral air from 50 to 90, whatever. Everything puts you in a tech chase situation. And all the time, you just get either sung or down air looped, which you can SDI out of, but you have to react to it and you get 2 or 3 times, or in general, just rested. So that's a strong point for Jigglypuff. But down throw Throppa on Jigglypuff has a percent range between 61 and 85% or something like that. It is way too large, it is always true, and it is kind of ridiculous. So if you are good in getting grabs against Jigglypuff, you have won. If not, no. So that's where the catch comes in. Jigglypuff won't be on ground a lot, so shielding her is a little bit different. Or shield grabbing her or grabbing her in general. She'll be in the air spamming pound, which can still be punished by Throppa or forward airs or back airs you, but punishing those is even a little difficult with Throppa because she can cross you up a lot of the times and space it. So Jigglypuff, but because of Throppa's kill percentages and the fact that you can spam it, I still put it in slight winning. At least offline. Online it's a little more difficult in my opinion, but offline I think you can still. And especially shot put again. Just shot put from far away, she doesn't have the speed to do anything about it. You cannot mash on Ken's shield even the tiniest bit, because you get comboed to death. From 0 to 50, he's gonna down tilt F tilt, or down tilt F tilt neutral B, or up tilt, up air, up B, or whatever Ken combos are, I don't even know. You cannot mash, yes, you cannot mash. So that is insanely frustrating. And his projectile isn't even that bad. And off stage, you can't even abuse him too much, because he can mix up his timings enough for shot put to not do as much. Although FMP would probably be better sometimes because it breaks through focus. So yeah, Ken is difficult. Ken is very difficult. But I can't say a lot about it because I haven't played a good offline Ken. So this is either slightly losing or losing. Because I don't know too much about it, I'm going to put it in losing. But yeah. Slightly losing. Neutral air beats Gordo. That's all I have to say. Neutral air beats every single move. That's all I have to say. No, Gaegel is a little more difficult than DDD probably, but so you still mash on him. There's nothing you can do about it. Just falling up air. Or up air in general. I have also not played a good Kirby. But Kirby is slow, but Kirby can combo. You can avoid a lot of Kirby's offstage pressure by feint jumping, which is nice because Kirby is so slow he can't often punish feint jump. Like if you throw combos, you forward throw, and then forward air, and then another throw, and then he wants to forward throw down air you at latch. Very often it's a frame trap because you either have to air legend and you end up very low below stage and he can just jump and do another down air to still catch you. Or you try to jump and still get caught by down air, but you just feint jump. Feint jump is quicker than jump and has a little bit of invincibility. So you just go through him, land on stage, and he's too slow to punish you for anything. So his advantage against Brawler is really not good. Again, Throppa and SAK work. Throppa just for catching. Again, catching floaty characters in the air. Throppa. So yeah, this is winning. Optimal Link play can be very difficult to deal with. And with optimal, I mean only use neutral air, forward air, boomerang. And sometimes maybe an F tilt. Especially F tilt is actually really good. SAK is nice because you can do something against forward air and spaced neutral air maybe, but Throppa is good because it punishes neutral air all the time, and so in the end I would probably recommend Throppa. You need to anti-air him with it, which you can't do online because his fast fall speed is so fast you can't even react to him full hopping and landing on your shield. And if it's spaced, you can't even punish neutral air with Throppa out of shield. But if not, you can just anti-air them. In case he does it. But he can just... Is Link's roll really as good as I think, or do I just struggle dealing with it? Because Link rolling behind you the moment you try to approach, or just boomeranging you is really, really good. He is very effective at walling out Brawler's approaches again, and also at catching defensive stuff like feint jump, because Link's forward air is just so long and so active. So him catching your approaches is very, very useful for him. With F tilt or forward air or full hop neutral air as an anti-air. Because his neutral air always beats ours. Little Mech. As I said before, I don't think in which video, but he does not have a single move besides charge down angled F smash, which is safe enough for SAK to not punish it. And I'm not counting his aerials. And also feint jump circle camping, if you want to. Or just generally Throppa camping on platforms, that also works. Yeah, Little Mech. Don't even have to talk about it. Lucario is difficult. Lucario is very difficult. It is similar to Bowser. You have to play optimal. And his backer can anti-air you or catch your approaches. His F tilt can, his forward smash can. You can't run in a neutral air approach him. Because you're gonna get dashback forward air or dashback side beat and you die at 30. Which is kind of a problem. But FMP is great for catching jumps because Lucario loves to jump. But Aura Sphere is also a great projectile similar to Samus Charge Shot. At least when he has Aura. I think Lucario is a matchup. If you are better than your opponent, it is slightly winning or winning for Brawler. Like, not in a relation, of course, if you're better than your opponent, you're still going to win. But there are some matchups like, spoiler, Shulk, you might be better than your opponent, but you still lose just because it's a losing matchup. But Lucario's matchup against Mii Brawler changes with how good you are in correlation to, or in relation to your opponent. If you are a little bit better or better than your Lucario opponent, then you will most likely win 8 out of 10 matches. But if you are even with the Lucario, you are most likely to win 4, maybe 3.5 matches. This would mean slightly losing in this case. But just because Lucario as a character still doesn't have the frame data. And as long as you keep patient in FMP anti-air, it should work. I don't mind the Lucas matchup. Be it Campy Lucas or Aggressive Lucas. Campy Lucas actually isn't good just because of feint jump. Feint jump on PK Fire, on reaction, just kill him. You can't effectively run off SAK against him if he tries to recover the correct way, because his up B hitbox, Rylet Travels, is way too large. So this matchup, and of course Brawler matches in Lucas, and especially offline. I did not know this until a few days ago. Between Lucas neutral air hits, you can neutral air out of shield. Between them, not after them, between them. And also Throppa and SAK both are very, very good. So feint jump plus any up special plus neutral air results in winning, I think. It might be slight winning but Lucas still has to outplay you to be very effective. Lucas combos can be very strong, like down air loops and just multiple down airs on stage into F smash, but you won't get that very often. And a lot of those kills will be at percent where you also kill him. So, Lucas' anti-airs are still pretty okay, because his neutral air sometimes wins against ours, and forward air on shield is very strong. Yeah, I'm gonna put it slide winning. Okay. I was about to put it in slide winning, but Lucina can F smash SAK. Because it's frame 10. So frame 21 with shield drop, and it's minus 23. So if she inputs it perfectly after shielding, well. Lucina is also a swordy, which walls Brawler out all the time when he tries to neutral air approach, or forward air approach, or dash attack approach. Not even dash attack, especially his aerials. But she's floaty. She is very floaty. And predictable. And not insanely fast. In other words, she jumps, you SAK. And SAK always wins or trades with her aerials, especially forward air. Neutral air will most likely always be caught, because you hit under her, and neutral air is a little bit a buffer. But forward air can still hit slightly under her, so there can trade. But SAK, when she jumps, is so incredibly unpunishable. The thing is, you can neutral air dodge through SAK, because the back part, the down part will of course hit you. Directional air dodges are too slow, because she's so slow and floaty. In other words, the moment she jumps, you throw it SAK, and there's nothing she can do to punish it. She can punish it in any single way, except full hop counter. Is she really going to full hop counter? That's a little bit risky, I would say. She can, but she shouldn't. So, again, stay on the ground. Dash attack. Defensive Lucina is the only strong thing you can play against Brawler, but once you hit one jump or SAK, ledge trapping her is so easy. I don't know if it's because I also play Lucina, or played Lucina for a long time, but her neutral get-up animation is really easy to hit with SAK. That's also a thing because she's very tall. So not only is falling up air, especially reverse, still easy to hit, but the SAK hitbox, I want to see this again. This is Mii Brawler's height, so Lucina would probably be around here. Remember that. So, when you try to catch her neutral get-up, you have 1, 2, 3. Wait, did I already? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5. Let's say 4. No, maybe 5. This is about Mii Brawler's height, so there still is. You have 5 active frames to catch Lucina standing up. This is so easy. This is incredibly easy to time. So if you kind of react to her neutral get-up animation, which is easy to do because it's this very obvious upfling, her ledge trapping will never go away. And she can ledge jump forward air, or ledge drop forward air because you stand too far away, or ledge jump because, okay, she can ledge jump, but if she doesn't want to get hit by SAK, she can't neutral air dodge, they can't directional air dodge in any way, she can just double jump again. So, but backwards. So she would have to jump and instantly double jump backwards, back off stage to avoid SAK on a ledge jump. And that doesn't bring anything useful to her. She could probably ledge jump and directional air dodge behind her. But again, because she's floaty, she's not gonna hit ground significantly before you. So you just land with second hit of SAK and run up and up smash her, or back throw again. Because you will still be in lag after landing with air dodge. So ledge trapping her and anti-airing her is really easy. The only thing, as I said, when you hit her shield with SAK, she can ledge shield drop F smash. And other than that, she can still aerial you out, even though she can't really effectively edgeguard you. Slide winning. I see it slide winning. I never struggled against any Lucina. I'm pretty confident in that matchup and this placement. Luigi. That's another thing which Lucas is also strong at and Samus is also strong at. Pivot grab. Tether pivot grab is very, very good. And it's very, very difficult to deal with. And you don't want to get pivot grab by Luigi. So you can't nair approach. You will never ever, until maybe 50% or 40%, want to nair approach Luigi. Which is a problem. Because you want to nair approach everyone who you can mash on, and every slow character. You have a problem. Okay, you can shot put camp. But shot put camp, as soon as there's a platform in the way, Luigi can either fireball camp you back, which is more likely to hit because shot put is the slowest. Or he can even run up and just anti-aerial you, because his aerials are still pretty quick. And of course down B makes a lot of combos. And juggling him. Luigi, for me, is a slight losing. There might be a trick I still need to find to do this matchup, but I don't think Luigi leaves a lot of options even if he doesn't grab you. And of course you don't really have offstage pressure against him. Mario. Mario mashes on you, you mash on Mario, you both have frame 3 uppies, but his combo game is way, way easier. His combo game is better, his smashes are better. His specials aren't better, but still. Especially his combo game and his aerial drift. And some of his aerials are... yeah, a lot of his aerials are just better. Our neutral air is better for comboing, but other than that, slight losing or losing. I would say slight losing, because you still don't get destroyed by him. Except for if the Mario really outskills you. But his punish game is just way more stronger than yours is. Way stronger. Marth. Just the same as Lucina. Not really any difficult. Or different. Same problems. They are different characters, but same problems and same strength. And by that I don't mean both the characters have the same problems in general, or same strengths, but against Brawler. It is still the game of anti-air with SAK, and get punished by F-Smash for it. That's still the only thing. The only important interaction in this matchup. And ledge trapping is also still easy. So there doesn't change a lot in advantage and neutral. Mega Man. Mega Man is another one you have to be very patient at. And I think if Riziazo or someone like the Japanese brawlers played it, they would be very successful. And that might be true. But Mega Man is also a strong character. With a strong punish game, a strong juggle game. Not a strong edge guarding, but you can't do that against Brawler anyway. You have to get in against pallets especially. Pallets shut down our approach angles a lot. But full hop is really good against him because he doesn't have a real anti-air, not anti-air, but out of shield option to deal with it. So the moment you get in, you deal a lot of damage, hopefully. But your advantage state also isn't perfect. So I would say most of the time it'll probably balance out between you having to get in and you getting in. Meta Knight. Meta Knight actually has trouble comboing fast follows like Brawler. At least, I could be wrong on this, but I've played a few Meta Knights and I've seen a lot of Meta Knights clips. And those Meta Knight clips were always on floaties, and the Meta Knights I played always didn't get any more combos than one up air and down air. His punish game isn't too good as a result, but our punish game is still pretty decent, and we can run after him and keep up with his speed. And he also can't edgeguard us too much, so I would say slightly winning. Mewtwo! Okay. His areas are actually pretty decent. But as I thought, you can still neutral air out of shield his neutral air and back air as long as they are not spaced. But for everything else, you have to be careful. I think Brawler wins it. What frame is it? Frame 7. Yeah. An up smash. Brawler wins this, at least slightly, because falling up air is very easy to hit. And because he's floaty, he dies very, very early to Throppa combos. So up air, Throppa would probably kill at 55 or something like that. And he can't punish you in any nice way, and he also doesn't have a real combo throw. At least I don't see why Mewtwo would destroy Brawler in any specific interaction. Brawler avoids edge guarding pretty nicely. Shadow Ball gets punished by down B. Sometimes, of course, he can bait that, but Shadow Ball just isn't such a good projectile as Charge Shot. So, now the interesting stuff. Mii Gunner. Mii Gunner has similar projectiles, of course, to Samus, but she doesn't have forward air and doesn't have a pivot grab, which is very, very important. Very important. She still walls Brawler out pretty nicely, but a little less. Her neutral air, though, is very nice anti-air against our neutral air, because it's even slightly disjointed. So just doing that from full up is very nice against Brawler's full up approaches. But I wouldn't say it's as bad as Samus. Just slightly losing still. And you can Mii Gunner the fast uppy and disadvantage. That's so good. It has no lag. That is so good. So you can't really go for SAK edge guards as you would first expect. Mii Sword Fighter. Mii Sword Fighter isn't bad against Brawler, I think, but also not particularly good. He has a sword, of course, you can space some aerials, and the aerials aren't too laggy, so you can just simply whiff punish him. And he's also pretty small, like the same height as Brawler himself. So I think this would be either slightly winning or even. You can't really edge guard him with SAK, and his approach angle is a little difficult to cover. Because Mii Sword Fighter's neutral air is actually one of the aerials which can beat SAK, which is very rare. Because when he swings it down. At this point. From this point on, it is ranged enough to go through the whole hitbox of SAK's lag, or of SAK and hit Brawler's lags on these frames. So you can approach with it and actually win against SAK, which can be a little bit annoying. You can mash pretty much on him, but he does get away with out of shield options, that's the thing. Okay, enough of the Miis. We got Mean now. Another Mii. They should have called it Mean. Min seems to wall out a lot of characters, but also she doesn't against Brawler because feint jump. As long as you don't pick a stage, like Battlefield, where she can constantly stand under stages, or in this case also Smash 4, under stages and be safe from feint jump, you shouldn't have a big problem with it. Because when she does a grounded move, or even grounded double move, you do it on reaction and punish her for it. And if she does it aerial, you just run in and shield dash. And especially because Brawler's jump speed is so nice, you just full hop or even double jump and land on her with neutral air. A lot of characters get up smashed in that situation, just as an anti-air, because the up smash is so good. But Brawler is so fast with his jumping. He can usually get around it. So I would say slight winning. Still not winning, because you still have to get in, and you get hit a lot of times in between, but you have the possibilities. And you also don't really get edge guarded. What can Brawler do against Game & Watch? He can spaced back air, max range F tilt, and I think that's it. That's about the moves you can hit on his shield. So, Suplex will be very valuable to get him shielding, just also on landing, but Suplex has startup time. So, using it on landing will often get preemptively beat by uppy. Just like any other area. Because it's the same timing if you do it on landing as neutral air would be after shield. So yeah, that's kind of a problem. You can chase him in the air with Throppa or get down throw Throppa kills, which also work very well on Game & Watch. But that's about it. You are very, very grab reliant. Which you can be until he spams aerials. And then you have a problem. Because you can't play SAK. SAK destroys his aerial game, but you can play SAK when you already play Throppa to get down throw Throppa. So he either completely shields against you when you play SAK, or he plays aerial against you when you play Throppa. Because your neutral air will lose against his neutral air, which is kind of stupid. So yeah, this is losing. Not strongly losing, maybe strongly losing, but you still have options. You aren't shut down completely. Ness. Ness. Ness is annoying, as always, but I don't actually mind it, because Ness has a semi-sword. His areas are so disjointed you could think he has a sword. But Brawler also has a semi-sword, which has a name of SAK. And SAK wins against neutral air, against back air, against forward air, against up air. Yeah, we don't even have to talk about up air. So yeah, again, floaty character jumps in front of you, SAK. Do that, but he doesn't have to jump. He doesn't have to jump as much as everyone else. And he can also just run in a neutral area actually, or cross you even up, which makes SAK punishes a little harder. And his moves on shield are also safer, pretty much. You can't really edgeguard him. He also can't really edgeguard you. Although PK Thunder is very scary when he chases you with it. Because you don't want to go too high. And if you get hit once while using Feint Jump, for example, you don't get it back. And then you have a problem. Even or slightly losing, I think even. Pac-Man. Pac-Man doesn't want you to approach. So he doesn't let you approach. But Brawler's tools to deal with it are actually plenty. Not only is Shot Put great for covering things behind Hydrant, and also kicking away Hydrant, but also there's Throppa, which not only beats Hydrant when he tries to drop it down on you, but also still hits him, which is really nice. He can often neutral air out of shield you, because he isn't big enough for neutral air on shield to be unsafe enough. And also, you have to see, you've seen how Rizziato played against him. He played really well, and he figured out how to actually get Pac-Man. He avoided his projectiles very easily with just jumping, because Pac-Man can't get up there fast enough, and doesn't have any projectiles which go in that angle. And also no aerial, which covers this angle very well, except for forward air. Forward air is a good aerial, but it doesn't cover a lot of space. So Pac-Man is probably slightly winning. Palutena is a whiff punish game. She whiff punishes your neutral air approach. Brawler whiff punishes her neutral air approach. Kind of a difficult scenario. She does have the better aerials after that. Her back air is better, her forward air is better, her up air is better. But we have a little better ground move. If Palutena plays her advantage right, Brawler might be in a lot of trouble. Especially because up air is still very good for catching Feint Jump. And her grab game also isn't bad. But she also doesn't have anything which really destroys Brawler. Sure, she can nair loop you, but her combo does it as much as yours does, as Brawler's does. You both just have to hit a neutral air. And of course, you can out of shield nair her neutral air all the time, when she lands on your shield. So probably slightly losing. Pichu dies to Throppa from ground level at 115%, something like that, maybe earlier, which is kind of stupid. So he can never ever mash on your shield. He can get away with uppy, okay, but he still gets comboed. There are 2 0 to death on him from neutral air, because he falls so fast you can just, even if you don't 0 to death him because you play a Throppa, you still get nair down tilt fair grab backer, down throw backer, which is very, very easy. It's kind of an advanced combo, but it's very easy to get. It is just very easy to perform. And it's 60%. Now he's at 60, so almost at down throw Throppa %. And even if he gets past that, you have still Throppa out of shield. And also, Shot Put to edgeguard him is actually not that hard, because his model becomes so big during his uppy, especially when trying to 2-frame it. So yeah, he can combo you, okay, you combo him, but he dies way earlier. Slightly winning or even winning. I think winning. I actually think winning. Pikachu, on the other hand, is a little different. Because Pikachu mashes on your shield, and it's kind of difficult to punish it. You can play Throppa, but he can space it away, he can cross you up, he can get the landing hitbox, so throppering Pikachu out of shield isn't really easy. There's a lot of mix-ups he can do. I play Pikachu myself, and I played against other Mii Brawlers, and they really had problems punishing it, and I can see why. It's similar. I also played Shulk against Shulk a lot with Pikachu, because I like this matchup way more than with Brawler. So that's not really an option. SAK is a nice anti-air again, against rising aerials especially, because rising forward air isn't safe anymore. And you negate a lot of Pikachu's edge guarding, because you can feint jump even over Thunder. Or through Thunder even. And often only get hit by the sour spot and not at all. So I probably won't even put this in losing. In strong losing, but only losing. Pikachu has to be very scared of stage from because of SAK, but on stage you still lose. You still definitely lose against especially defensive Pikachu. Plant gang, yeah. Piranha Plant's options of covering approaches are in theory nice, but not against Brawler, because Brawler approaches from a short up. From a low short up angle, which Petui doesn't hit, and which Cloud, like side B, maybe hits dash back side B, but we can just run away out of that and take maybe 5% and that's it. What does Plant have left for anti-airs? Forward air? Not really. Only Petui, but from a short up, that's not a problem. Also, SAK off stage still works, or Heli Kick also works. You can just, again, up air on shield, as we all know. And very slow, so Throppa is still a nice way to approach. Winning. Pokemon Trainer, even though I didn't rank them individually, I'm gonna stress how they affect one each other. Squirtle probably kind of wins against Brawler, at least at early percent. Because Squirtle gets a lot, I won't say easy combos, but easier combo starters against Brawler than the other way around. But later, Brawler just needs a few outplays, or not even outplays, but wins to get the stock earlier. So this is where, in theory, at mid-percent, Ivysaur would come into place. But Ivysaur sucks against Brawler, because you punish every single Razor Leaf with Feint Jump, and you fast fall air dodge through up airs, and up smash is too slow to punish that. And that's it. Ivysaur doesn't also really edge guard with down air because you recover high. So Ivysaur sucks. Left is Charizard. Charizard is scary. Because Rage. Because Rage and back air. That is very, very scary. So in this regard, Charizard does synergize very well with Squirtle. If Brawler gets a nice combo or even kill on Squirtle at early percent, that is great. But if not, he has a problem. Slight losing. It is a skill matchup, but against this good Charizard, Brawler has a problem. Especially also because of preemptive up B out of shield against neutral air approaches or up airs. Richter and Simon. Winning. Brawler is just way too fast. Way too fast. Burning dropkick, feint jump over everything. No option to punish in any way with projectiles. Your aerials won't really hit him. Usually you hate playing against Richter, but he hated playing against me. Because I would burning dropkick every single cross, I would feint jump every single X. It was even kind of funny. His best option was to punish my burning dropkick by down tilting under it and F tilting me, or just dash away after, which kind of didn't work because he was already in the corner. So yeah, this matchup is actually pretty easy to play. I won't put Ridley into strongly winning, because Ridley is still scary. In forward air anti-airs very well as neutral air wins against Brawler's neutral air and back air and command grab. Ridley just has more tools than the others, but still. Just falling up air. Just falling up air. Falling up air neutral air, mash on his shield, jab on his shield, do whatever you want. He can fireball, just feint jump. If he side B is predicted in F smash, your punish game on Ridley is so incredibly strong and your combo game. There's no way Ridley can in any way outperform that. Rob is again difficult to judge. Rob has a very easy to window to die to down throw Throppa, which is an important point, and he has a frame for air dodge, so again he gets comboed very hard, especially by up air again. And neutral air catches him a lot, and parrying his neutral air isn't actually that hard, and you can Throppa out of shielded. And you can punish his neutral B with feint jump and so on. But once you miss a punish, once you miss the feint jump and don't do it on time, you're gonna eat some damage. Still, I do think Brawler does it nicely against him. Slight winning. Robin, again, slow, punish projectiles with feint jump. Don't approach recklessly, because a lot of Robins will know that people punish their projectiles and try to bait them out. And then punish you with very strong 11 sword, aerials or smashes. So just wait. Just wait. Be patient, don't get stupidly edge-guarded, and SAK them. Also slight winning. Slight winning or winning, I'm not sure about that. Probably slight winning because Robin's aerials are actually pretty good anti-airs to ours, to Brawlers. I keep saying ours because matchup discussions on the Mii Brawler Discord are always held in first person plural. We are talking about, but we can do that and we can do that, because we're talking about ourselves as Brawlers. It's kind of funny. Rosalina and Luma. They can zone Brawler out pretty effectively. And Dashback is very annoying, and Dashback side B is annoying, and Nutria is annoying. They have a lot of options, and there's no insanely good way to deal with Luma, except for Dash Attack. Dash Attack is actually really good. Dash Attack and then maybe Backers or just another Dash Attack, that works very well. But other than that, she just wins neutral. And advantage is still scary, and disadvantage isn't as bad for her. So it might be even, or slight losing. I'm gonna put it in even. Roy. No. Roy is such a good character who kills you so insanely early. It is not even funny anymore. Jab on our shield for years, side B on our shield. Chrom loses to jab, to shield, because you shield things and then roll away or up B or shield drop dash away, whatever. But Roy side B's you, or side B's your spot dodges, or side B your rolls, or jab side B's you, and you die at 50. No, I don't want to die at 50. I really don't want to. That's not cool. Also Roy with punishing. Roy with punishing, similar to Chrom again. With punishing is so good. But his punishes are even harder than Chrom. So that's why I put it in strongly losing. Ryu. Kinda similar to Ken. I'm just also gonna put it in slightly losing. I can't tell a lot about it, but also slightly losing. Probably not as bad, but just because... You know what? Maybe. Nah, I'm not gonna make that difference. I know they are very different characters, but it's still the same problem, similar to Marth and Lucina. Sheik is a fun matchup. Sheik is a very fun matchup. Fortunately, you don't have to be worried about getting edge guarded. At least not a lot. I have never played a Sheik on the combo and kill confirm level of Void, obviously because there is none. So I can't really talk about experience here. But I can say, Throppa again kills insanely early because she's such a lightweight and punishes every aerial. Defensive sheet would most likely be best, but still. I think in the end it might be even. A skill matchup, who beats whom in neutral, who gets the better combos, and yeah. Okay, the next one is the absolute worst possible. Shulk. Shulk is almost unwinnable. You cannot punish any of his aerials with SAK. It doesn't even have enough range to punish them. And you can, if you do it perfectly, I think dash attack his whiff punishes. But that's still hard to do. He also, any other special also is kind of... Suplex is nice. Suplex deals with shield a lot, and Suplex just deals damage, of course, when you try to land on shield. But against other areas, if you don't space him perfectly, he also has RB out of shield, which... Why did he do that? You also can't really edge guard him. You also risk... If you try to go for SAK edge guards, you risk being reverse upbeat by him and dying at 50. Other than that, feint jump approach him, predict his aerials and preemptively feint jump, which is very, very risky because he can just F-smash you with Smash Monado on. And Monados also make it even more difficult. Speed Monado just overruns you. You can't do anything against speed. Shield, of course, yeah, because we have so much knockback on our moves. Shot put is the only really good special against him, because he doesn't have a projector. As long as he doesn't switch to jump or speed, you can try to zone him out a little bit. But other than that, shield dash is your only option and hope you one time get in far enough to get a neutral air or read after that. But until that happens, you've seen what happened to Riziazu. And I don't think Komi knew the matchup very well. So, Shulk is borderline unwinnable. Snake. I always at first didn't like the Snake matchup just because it can be really annoying, but I changed my mind, and Snake is really fun to play against because you can play around with grenades, and playing around grenades is kind of a chess game on its own, but if you do it right, you can do a lot of work with it. And Throppa and Shot Put, as well as FMP, you can pretty much decide, both do a lot of work against Snake, because Shot Put always has the scary part of just destroying Cypher. The thing is, Snake tries to recover low, you throw a Shot Put from stage, which will just break Cypher and he's a problem. So he will most likely try to recover from under stage, like sliding up the ledge. You can roar, jump off and Shot Put and easily get back. So you have a Shot Put pretty much traveling under the whole stage. This is a nice option against a lot of recoveries, by the way, but especially against Snake's ones. So he might want to recover high. A lot of Snakes like to do that. Throppa. Throppa's final hitbox easily breaks Cypher and kills him at 20. So he's always in a scary position once you get him off stage or in disadvantage. Suplex is, Suplex doesn't get break by grenades. You both take the damage, I think, but he gets put into disadvantage when you hit him while he's holding one and you stay on the ground, so you at least get advantage from it. And if you try to juggle him and he just pulls grenades, you Throppa it. Because he will always land up above you. And once he stops pulling grenades, he will still get hit, because his air dodge is too slow. So he has no other choice but to ladder himself to the top with grenades or be hit. And that can be very, very deadly. So this one might be either even or slightly winning. His kill power is still a lot better, and his whiff pun. Because of dash attack and up tilt, I'm gonna put it in even. Just because of that. His disadvantage is horrible against Brawler, but dash attack against neutral air, up smash against anything. Fortunately, we don't really have to deal with ledge trapping, because we, again, feint jump over him. But still, up tilt also at kill percent, Brawler is in heavy disadvantage. I don't like playing against Sonic, of course, like everyone. Offline, it's way better. But I still think there's not a lot to say about this, just slight losing. Because you lose more neutral interaction than you will win, and the amount of damage you do in those interactions you win or kill power isn't equivalent. Sonic's kill power might as well be better or the same as yours. Not talking about cheese setups, not even cheese, but just spin dash into forward air, which can kill at 60, or just back air, anti-air, because he never uses aerials, and once he does, he will most likely catch you off guard. And homing attack, spam, and whatever. And just F-smash. So all of those are good. SAK is really good against him, because you can do it on a range, and try to edgeguard him and anti-air him, but kinda meh. Yeah. Slight losing, just in general. In the average of all neutral interactions you're going to lose. Terry. Terry isn't as bad as the other Shotos, because Terry's out of shield punish game, or Terry's tilt punish game, doesn't kill you at 60. That's an important part. It still does damage, but you can SDI, jab, power dunk, so he has to jab, uppy, which isn't quite as strong or does as much damage, and you can still SDI that, so it's kind of a 50-50 between that. And you can space your areas better against him. And his projector isn't as good, and SAK is insanely good against his recovery because it's slower and vulnerable. Like, his uppy is disjointed and invincible when he does it the right way, but SAK also is, so it still wins, or you hit him from below. So that's all pretty nice. So in general, I would say even. It would be winning if it wasn't for Go. Go is just scary because... Power Geyser, that's it. It catches feint jump, so you're not as safe as you usually would, and you're very, very shield heavy at kill percent, but you can still do that, so yeah. Also, up air spam is surprisingly easy against him. Toon Link, another difficult zoner with Boomerang. Boomerang and uppy out of shield. All of those will most likely rack more damage on you than you can deal in the interactions you win, because Toon Link is surprisingly hard to combo. So yeah, that's pretty much it. He will most likely deal more damage than you will on average over all neutral interactions, and has similar or more kill power. That's all you can say about it. Villager. Villager isn't as easy as Isabelle, but still very much doable. He can wall you out a little bit, Lloyd Rocket is a lot better, but there's still Feint Jump, and just run over him with frame data. So slight winning, maybe even, but I still see it as slight winning. Wario definitely wins the combo game contest. He gets comboed hard, okay, Brawler does a lot of damage, but Wario. You really want to compare Mii Brawler's kill power and combo game to Wario's? I don't think so. So you're gonna eat tons of damage, he's gonna eat tons of damage, and he's gonna eat you, and then he kills you by farting on you. So it's kind of even in neutral and damage, maybe even in favor of Brawler because of suplex damage. It's just the way superior command grab. But you die way earlier. So either slight losing or even. Because of the damage output, I might put it in even. And because of frame data. Yeah, probably even. With Wii Fit, I'm struggling between winning and slightly winning. Because SAK makes ledge camping very, very dangerous for Wii Fit. Because she can always die at 0. And it also punishes a lot of her moves otherwise, like F-tilt or down tilt or Sun Salute on shield. SAK is really good against those. And neutral air against any of her aerials out of shield again. Deep breathing isn't as scary because with deep breathing, her kill power gets a lot higher, but you can first hold shield a little more, and your frame data still is way superior to hers. So there's no problem in combating her while she has deep breathing. Of course, you should be careful and you can use the time to camp it out a little bit, but there's no harm in still challenging her. I think slight winning, because again, you don't really destroy her in any way. She doesn't mind being at ledge. Wolf is a difficult matchup to play, because Wolf's whiff punishing again is very good, and advantage state. Advantage state is against fast followers especially, just because dash attack covers so much. Dash attack, you can't land with an aerial against a dash attack with punishing Wolf, or F-tilt, or neutral air, which always wins against our neutral air. SAK is most likely the best aerial, so you can anti-air him when he tries to go for forward air spacings or back air spacings, but still. His kill power is superior, his whiff punishing is superior, his damage output isn't quite superior, but those first two are enough. So this is either losing or slight losing. I think actually losing. Wolf doesn't shield too much, he dashes away. And Brawler loses against good dash away options, which Wolf has tons of. And anti-airs also. And you don't want to trade your neutral air with his backer. You really don't want to. Yoshi is also difficult. Yoshi double jumps out of every single of your combos, which is hella annoying. And he egg camps you. I am very, very bad at dealing with egg camping. But also, all of his aerials either trade or win against ours. Which is a little bit annoying. And they also have a little too much range for Throppa to actually out of shield them, especially back air and forward air. That doesn't even work. So your special choice is a little bit limited. And you really rely on cornering him and getting as much damage out as possible, which is difficult against this double jump. So Yoshi is most likely slight losing. Again, he also doesn't have anything really good. So, yeah. And is very linear. I see Young Link in similar way to Toon Link, but I think Toon Link is actually even more difficult to hit, because Young Link has the speed, but he wants to use the speed. And his aerials have a little more place in hitting your shield, which is where Throppa again excels. Also, he falls faster, so you can abuse that pretty easily. Young Link, I'm gonna put Young Link in even. I don't know why exactly, but I don't think he has the same place as Toon Link. Toon Link can play defensively easier. Of course, Young Link can camp, but it's easier to punish him camping than Toon Link, because Toon Link can spend more time in the air, where Feint Jump especially won't hit, and the best anti-air would be forward air, which is not good, so yeah. Zelda isn't any special character. She doesn't have too much stuff against Brawler, but Brawler doesn't have too much stuff against her, except superior frame data. Her camping isn't too good, so Feint Jump again. Feint Jump on reaction will always punish side B and very often punish down B. Probably also always if you react in time. So yeah, this is either winning or slight winning. I would say slight winning because dashback F smash or dashback F tilt or F tilt in general are still very good. And her throw combos, also pivot grab is very good in her grab game in general. And you can shot put camp her, even though she's slow. So yeah, slight winning. ZSS is also a matchup many people struggle with, but I think, especially after seeing how Riziazo played it, I don't think it's that bad, because of SAK. I mean, Riziazo didn't even play SAK. But still, ZSS is nimble, she has high jumps, he can cross you up with forward air and back air space and down smash space and whatever, and neutral air space. And even though you will never ever have any chance of punishing a neutral air on shield, because even on parry you can't SAK it, you can still punish everything else. And FAP is so good for catching flip jump. It just kills her once you call it out one time. And even if you don't use FMP, up air is also quick to catch it, and then she doesn't have it anymore. And she struggles a bit with landing, especially against Brawler, because with punish and grab combos. So her damage output doesn't quite rival Mii Brawler's, but of course her kill power does. So I would put this in even. I was away for a small while. Why is Toon Link worse than Young Link? And don't you think Wario can mess Brawler up really heavily? Toon Link is worse than Young Link because Toon Link's camping potential in the sense of staying away in the air is better than Young Link's. Here we have Young Link. On place, whatever this is, maybe 10. And Toon Link is here. In the upper third, I would say. Maybe up lower fourth or third. So Toon Link, throwing boomerangs and pulling bombs in the air, can spam a lot more time in the air. And Young Link spams, okay, boomerang and arrows on the ground, which is way easier to punish with Feint Jump. Punishing in the air, the best option is forward air, and you don't gain anything by hitting forward air if you ever will. It's Brawler. So this is why I think Young Link has the upper edge in that case. Toon Link, yeah. And Wario. Yes, Wario can mess you up, like every character. And I think sometimes the immense fast fall speed of Brawler even stops some of his combos. So neutral air at 0 won't even combo, or another neutral air after neutral air still won't combo, stuff like that. Yeah. It might be even or slightly losing, as I said in that moment. But I think the overall damage output thanks to suplex with punishing or suplex on shield for Brawler is still higher, at least high enough to compensate for kill power. Okay, I think I need to talk about what exactly I think about, why I think Pacey are in winning. Okay. Pacey's strong points are combos, of course, but those work on every character and they might even mess up sometimes on Brawler. Neutral, because of float, of course, and even more than all of that, ledge pressure, or corner pressure, to be exact. Two of those are kind of meh. So, combos, okay, yeah, sure. Daisy or Peach, Pacey deal 70% in a combo to Brawler, or 60. But first, Brawler also does it, even with easy combos, just down tilt forward air up Throppa, which is, I think, 57. So, okay, you do the same percent. But then, her neutral. Neutral because of float. Floating against Brawler isn't actually that good. You have to either float really, really low and forward air space, which can lose against dash attacks and is pretty predictable, or she floats really high. Because at mid-range float, she will always lose to neutral air. Just neutral air mash on her. If she floats at that range, it is very, very easy to just catch her. But if she floats at high high ranges where neutral air from a short hop won't hit anymore. You can run up and Throppa, and she has not a single way to punish it. That is the thing with floaties. You can just up B in neutral and she can punish it. So that is a really important part when playing against her. And then, when you come to kill percent, she tries to mash areas on you. Of course, neutral air with float cancel on your shield, back air with float cancel on your shield, and forward air. Forward air is still scary, especially when she catches jumps. That is difficult. I see that. But back air and neutral air always get punished by Throppa. Of course, you can react to it offline. And then she just dies. Because Throppa kills her insanely early because of floatiness. Throppa scales very nicely with floatiness. Especially down throw Throppa also kills it 75, maybe something like that, depending on stage. And up tilt, up air Throppa combos are really, really easy on her. They work so consistently. You get an up air on her floating around you, she dies at 55, 60, 65. Everything works. So your kill potential against her is actually way higher than hers against you. Yeah. Then again, turnips, also a thing. Turnips are very, very good. But not for edge guarding, you just feint jump over them. And in neutral, okay, you can punish turnip plug with feint jump, but you don't even have to. And when she has a turnip in hand, you can still approach with full open air, which she has kind of struggle dealing with, except for dash back. She's so good at walling you out though. Dash attack. Walling out works because she can float cancel a lot of aerials, and it is hard to get through them. But dash attack is disjointed. You just spam dash attack in her face. And her best punish against it, again, if she shields it, is another backer. But yeah, in that case, walling you out is good, yes, but you can dash attack or be patient. Yeah, of course. So then you wait. Or even better, you conditioned her to condition you to bait dash attacks, because then she has to start using 2 or 3 back airs and then shielding, waiting for a dash attack, which is when you get your dash grab and kill her at 60 or 65 from down throw Throppa. You love getting grabs against her. Also, Pacey doesn't move a lot when using spam aerials, so you can just suplex on him, because suplex will armor through backer. The matchup is... A lot of matchups really die to Pacey because of ledge trapping especially. Just floating low, forward air is so good. But forward air, back air, maybe neutral air, I'm not sure about that. And especially dash attack, or hit you in an angle where he can just recover high and fast fall air dodge. Inkling. Inkling is just because of the simple fact that Inkling jumping will always lose. A jumping Inkling will always lose against Brawler. That is just the practice of it. So you have left dash dancing Inkling, and the dash dancing Inkling is still very, very good, as long as they are on platforms, and if you don't spam dash attack. Or any other move, dash attack and suplex in combination. So it would be like, on ground, Inkling and Brawler would be even, because very good dash attack, very good dash grab, very good whatever, suplex, very good, okay, again dash grab, or maybe roller. But in the air, Inkling just can't use aerials. So yeah. I think this way of using SAK to anti-air isn't something a lot of people do yet, and it's way stronger offline, of course, because you can react to people jumping. Because this is an important point, really. When you... Let's take the extreme example. Let's say you have a fox full ups in front of you, or short ups, doesn't matter. You can't react to short up, that's way too fast. He full ups in front of you. First, he will be down there in a second or less than a second, half a second, quarter of a second. So it's hard to react. And even if you predict it, he can directionally air dodge through it or jump over it. And in both cases, he will either land slightly after you or even at the same time as you. So he has time to punish your SAK on his jump. But floaty characters will never not in a single situation be able to do this. As long as you hit SAK when they are in range, which is not difficult to do, because especially slower floaties like Paisy isn't fast. So as long as you run up and SAK where they are in the air, which happens quite a lot, there is no way to punish it. They can double jump before it hits them, but you just do it the second instant also, and they need so much time to actually fall down to punish you, they can't. It doesn't work from the feign data, so double jumping isn't a solution. Air dodging? Neutral air dodge doesn't work because the down it hits you, obviously. And directional air dodging, you can't fast fall during a directional air dodge. In other words, they will fall down with their base fall speed and take years to hit the ground. In other words, you might actually be able to punish them for directionally air dodging at that point. A lot of people try to go for latch then. Okay, quick correction. While editing, I decided to actually test this to be 100% sure this is actually true. And it turns out, Inkling and Lucina can actually punish an anti-air SAK. If they double jump relatively early, so when they make an absolute hard read against your SAK, and if they perfectly time their fast fall and aerial. In the first example you can see how Brawler barely still gets hit, but in the second example he doesn't. So while you aren't completely safe against opponents with this fall speed, it is still an incredibly potent option which forces your opponent to spend their double jump on a read. In any case, if you have made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you want to discuss a certain matchup more, please tell me your opinion in the comments. I'll be sure to look at it. And if you want more matchup advice, make sure to subscribe. See you in the next video.